DeepSeek. And the fact that it thinks about what you give to it, the questions that you ask, makes it more interesting and amazing to see. Much better than ChatGPT, by the way. Although now ChatGPT is becoming, they're beginning to upgrade all of the options that they have. So ChatGPT, there is also Perplexity, very great for search. There is Claude, very great for writing. I don't know if Nigerians in Nigeria have access to Claude. However, you can check it out. All of this very free, right? There is durable.io for website design. There is Synthesia for video creation. So I'm making this presentation. I can use Synthesia without actually being there, create an AI avatar of myself, and Synthesia will just have the entire presentation done. There is DID, there is InVideo, amazing tool, InVideo. For presentations, there is Gamma. Gamma, you just put in a prompt and it creates a presentation plus a slide and everything for you. So there are so many AI tools, right? But right now, these are the most important, I would say, or the easiest for you to get started with. AI tools can be very complicated, and you need to dedicate some time to learning how to use them. But also be inquisitive. There are so many free tools that you can leverage. As much as possible, try to learn about these tools. Go to YouTube, go to Google. They are your friend. Follow creators who are in the tech space or in the AI industry. There are so many of them right now, and learn from them. And also follow Hexamedia, because very soon we'll be starting up our AI series where I'll be sharing so many AI tools for nonprofits. And the other bit of communication is having to measure your success. Beyond all of these things that I've mentioned, if you do not measure your success, you're not going to be able to know what is working and what is not. And to measure your success, depending on the platform, you can get access to different insights for your nonprofit. Social media analytics. On Facebook, there are insights, Instagram insights, Twitter, you have the analytics. All of this helps you to see what content is doing well, where your followers are from, what time they are most engaged on the platform, and all of that. For emails, we also have the same thing, and so many different measurement tools, but this will be based on the platform. It is important that you are able to measure at least every quarter, so that you are able to tweak your strategy and your plan to make things better and adjust it based off on the data that you have gotten. And finally, we're going to be looking at creating a digital campaign. To create a digital campaign is quite simple. However, a lot of people would just move quickly to the visual bit of it, which is the design and the videos, and then they go on social media to share. But before you actually do that, there has to be some sort of brain work that goes on before you put out all of the visuals. And the first thing is identifying your campaign goals and objectives, right? What is the goal? Has to be smart. What are the objectives you want to achieve at the end of the campaign period? What is the campaign timeline? How long do you want it to run for? Ideally, I would say a minimum of 1 month, a maximum of 90 days, which is 3 months, right? And so some people can run a year-long campaign, but they break it down into bits, into parts, right? So depending on how exactly you want to run it, you need to have a goal and objective for your campaign. And then you need to now go on to think about your target audience and segment them. Who are the different audiences? How do you want to reach out to them? How do you want to communicate with them? This is where you come to craft the compelling message and the storytelling technique you're going to use for your campaign. And then you go on to choose the right platform. What platform are you going to use to promote this campaign? Remember, it's digital, so it has to be online. And then after all of this, you can now move on to creating your visuals using any free tool available to you. And as much as possible, try to schedule and automate most of these things so that even when you are not there or the internet interferes or something happens, your campaign is still running with or without you. Some campaigns might require you to have a website or a landing page, and as much as possible, you want to get that ready. If, for example, you're trying to raise funds, that is the campaign goal, you want to ensure you have a digital fundraising system on that website or the landing page, so that when people begin to get into your tap into your campaign, they are visiting your website, they have a seamless process, and nobody is calling you to say, sorry, this button is not working. What happened, and all of that. You want to be able to test all of these things before it happens. And ideally, I would say that to plan your campaign, you should start at least 3 months before time. And this is why you want to use 1 month to actually plan the entire thing, the whole 9 yards of it. And then you want to use another 1 month to prime your audience, which is called the pre-launch period. So you prime your audience for like 1 month, and then you now launch the next one. So let's just say 2 months for everything. 1 month to plan, another month for the pre-launch, where you build anticipation, build interest, maybe begin to run ads, begin to build interest, your leads and everything. And then when you launch, you have people who are ready to actually take part in your campaign that you've created. And then your campaign can continue to run after that. And then you have a post-campaign period where people are now able to continue the engagement. So after people give to your organization or whatever your campaign goal is, which I always assume is fundraising, you want to ensure you have an engagement strategy after the campaign. Don't leave those people hanging. Keep them updated and continue to engage with them after the campaign, so that they are able to, come back again to give to you. This is where communication also begins to play a very huge role. A lot of people would give, or receive the donations from people, and after that you hear nothing. Just crickets, until they are ready to raise another money again for the work that they do. When you do that, people don't trust you. They don't believe that you've used the money for something. So you need to create the engagement strategy during your campaign planning process, not after, so that you are able to properly engage with them during this. And I'm just going to use the Slum to School campaign to make it more practical for you. Let's analyze it together. I'm sure you guys know Slum to School by Otto Oranda. I hope I got his name. But the Slum to School Africa launched the Be Our Superhero campaign. I don't know if you guys ever came across that, or if you came across that campaign, I'm sure you were captivated by it. They leveraged AI, storytelling, gamified applications for the entire campaign, and it was really, really, really amazing, and it yielded results. Now let's walk through what they did. First, the campaign objective and goal was to raise awareness and funds to support the education of children living in underserved communities. Their objective was simple. They wanted to secure sponsorships for at least 1,000 children while increasing volunteer participation. That was their simple goal, right? And when we look at their target audience, their primary audience was young professionals, corporate organizations, philanthropists, individuals that were passionate about education. And when you look at people who were published as superheroes on their website, I'll show you their website just after this, you will see the kinds of people that were there. These people were actually young professionals, philanthropists, and people who were passionate about education. So those were the people they were targeting with their campaign, and they reached them. And then they also had a secondary audience, social media influencers, media houses, and the Nigerians in diaspora. Nigerian diaspora audience is a very huge untapped audience. If you are not looking in that direction right now, now that Uncle Trump is trumping, you need to begin to look in that direction. Individuals who are in diaspora who are willing to support your cause. But without a proper communication system, you might not be able to book with them. So Crafting compelling messages. What they did, their core message was anyone can be a superhero by sponsoring a child's education. Simple, clear. Do you want to be a superhero? Sponsor a child's education. It's that simple. Their storytelling approach was showcasing the real life stories of children who needed educational support, and then they used before and after visuals of children who had benefited from the program before, meaning they had a tested and trusted concept. So people were not coming to something new. So this also brings me to proof of concept. You want to raise funds, you want to start a digital campaign, you need to ensure that you must have tried it before and there was proof of concept. You have people who have benefited from this because you would want to share this as testimonials to get people more interested in supporting or partaking in your campaign. And then they featured testimonials from donors and volunteers to also build trust. They used a hero narrative, making donors feel like active change makers. Everyone wants to be Superman. Everyone wants to be Wonder Woman. Now imagine if you are able to bring that to life using that hero narrative. And that was what they tapped into. And then they used the right platforms. They used Instagram for visual storytelling. At that time when the campaign was launched, it was all over. Before the campaign even launched, they came up with a mad video of all of these faves, wearing superhero costumes. And we were wondering, what is this, right? What is happening? But when they launched it, we were like, oh, wow, this is it. And everyone wanted to be a superhero. So they leveraged visual storytelling, real-time engagement on Twitter, LinkedIn to target corporate donors and potential CSR partners, YouTube for sharing long-form videos and all of that. And definitely, they must have used WhatsApp to engage with dedicated supporters. Then visual and video content, like I said, they used a lot of branded designs featuring children with superhero capes, and also the heroes who are the donors wearing all of those Superman and all of those different Wonder Woman costumes that you see on the cartoons. And so they created very emotional video content and use different video editing tools to enhance the storytelling. They also use user-generated content where the superheroes shared why they were superheroes for the cause, in their entire regalia and all of that. And it was really great. And I'm very sure their tools, their content was scheduled because it was just going out at when we really needed it to see. And so they exceeded their fundraising goals, they increased social media engagement, and they also attracted major corporate sponsors because of this campaign, right? So emotional storytelling, powerful visuals, the use of gamification, and also leveraging social media influencers. That part of what they did was an amazing strategy for the organization, leveraging social media influencers. And if you watch, they did not just use anyone, They leveraged people who were specifically around their target audience. So let me see. Yes, this is the website. Can you all still see my screen? This is the website. It says, be our superhero when you give the children the education they need every month. Join us, blah, blah, blah. And then we see
sorry,
superhero.
so we can see your screen, but we're seeing assignments. I'm not sure
Okay.
if that's just me. Yes.
Okay. Let me share this. Okay. You can see it now, I suppose.
So it's loading, it's sharing. Yes, so we can say no.
Okay, so this is their website. You can see our beloved Ndidi Uweni here. She was also a superhero wearing the entire regalia. AI, these were all AI generated images and really looking amazing. You can see Bankole Wellington, Banky W was here with his own Nancy Sime. I think Dang was also there because I remember seeing it on her profile. And this was like the best way they really communicated this. And they leveraged AI for this. This is not Banky W talking, but you can see that there are so many people that really got engaged with it. So this is just an example of how you can actually create digital campaigns for your organization. And I've been asked to actually give you a task. So I'm going to share a task with you, which is our assignment at the end of today. I would like you to go back and think about your own organization. What is that campaign you would want to create? No organization is the same. No organization is the same, even if you're championing the same cause, right? Sorry about this. Okay. So even if you're championing the same cause, no organization is the same. So you're going to create a simple digital campaign using the 5-step strategy I just shared with you, a clear objective, your target audience, your compelling narrative, the digital channels you want to use, how you plan to actually promote that campaign, and what's your simple, clear call to action. Very simple. It's just a one-page plan, nothing complicated, as simple as possible. And so when this is shared, I don't know how I can get this. I'm thinking probably in my second session, everyone would just share their campaigns with me, and then I could analyze it right there on the call. But I don't know if there is a system you guys have created for sharing this. But yes, in our next session, we're going to be looking at advocacy for nonprofits. And I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you, but not to confuse you, that communications can be very effective for your nonprofit, and it's time to begin to leverage it. Thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Ella. Thank you so much. Please, can we appreciate Ella? You can clap, you can unmute your mic and just thank her. You can just leave a chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. It was a very, very insightful class. My notes. I don't know if we were taking notes, Sha, but my own notes were filled up. Because everything was key, from the recommendations to the strategies, and thankfully there is an assignment. So Ella, we currently use Google Classroom, and I can add you up as a teacher. So we would add the assignments and then assign it to the students. Give them a deadline. So what deadline do you want to give them? So you can always look through after the deadline, and then we just come to class and analyze. So I mean, you're not caught off guard by So does that work?
Okay, so my next class is 22nd, which is next week, right?
Yes.
Next week, Saturday.
Okay.
Okay, so if we can have it by Thursday, that would be great. So I can use Friday to look at it. Is it the same time? It's the same time, right?
Yeah, I believe it's the same time, 7 p.m.
Okay, 7 p.m. Okay,
well,
not so many. Yes.
Yes, 7.
Thursday, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thursday. Thank you so much, Ella. So we're going to quickly take questions.
Sure.
Do we have questions? So this is the fellows. Do you have any question? Anything you need clarification on? The best time to ask about that assignment is now, so that we do not start hearing one thing on Wednesday when the assignment is due on a Thursday. And if you have questions regarding any other thing that Ella has shared, please, you can just raise your hand. Okay, I see Abigail's hand. I'm just going to confirm how many more hands would go up, and we would only take the hands that are up. We wouldn't take follow-up questions, please. So please raise your hand if you have any question. Okay, I only see Abigail's. Okay, so Abigail, you have the floor. Please go ahead with your question.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, Ella, for that wonderful session. Communication is a very vital part, and I can see more light to it just by your presentation and how you were able to bring it to us. So, but I want to ask, is sponsored ad a effective means for communication? Like just come up with a post and then use a sponsored ad. Is it an effective means for communication, especially for non-profits? I can understand for business, but for non-profits, is it an effective way?
Absolutely. But it depends on what your goal is, um, and how exactly you're carrying out that ad. So a lot of people just go to Instagram or Facebook and they click on boost post. It doesn't work. You will not get the result that you want. So if you want to run an ad for your nonprofit, I would advise that you have a specific goal. So every nonprofit should have a marketing plan, like I said. And so if you carry out events, you can run ads to your event to get leads who would become and who would be engaged and become, advocates or donors or volunteers for your organization. So that's how I would advise that you look at ads, running ads. But yes, running ads is an absolute great way to reach more people because the way social media is created or designed, you're just reaching out to a specific group of people based off on your interactions. So for you to be able to expand that reach that you have and get new eyes, you would need to be able to invest some money in ads. And joyfully, Google gives you access to, I think, 10K free ad credit, if I remember the figure correctly. So you can apply for it and get free ad credit from Google. If you don't know how to do it, please get an expert to do it so you don't waste your money. Because a lot of people just want to bootstrap everything and then you end up wasting your money. So if you're running ads, let there be a reason why you're running the ads and don't just run it to just a post, just like that. Because you're a nonprofit and you work on a lean budget, it would be better for you to have maybe a webinar or an event, or if you have a campaign. And remember, campaign is not only fundraising campaigns. You can have specific campaigns for awareness days. So this month is FGM Awareness Month. One of the organizations I work with, we are carrying out a... Sorry, Mr. Isaac, do you mind muting your mic? Thank you. So we're carrying out a digital campaign around FGM, right? So that kind of thing, we can run ads to it for people to get involved with the campaign. But we would also want to get our emails because data is king. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Abigail. So I see Mr. Isaac's hand up. I'm hoping that's for a question. Mr. Isaac, you have the floor if you have a question for us.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. I want to appreciate the speaker tonight. I'm really grateful, and I'm not. I want to be very, very grateful because it's a great privilege, and I've learned a lot of things under this effective communication and advocacy for nonprofit. It's so wonderful and amazing, so educative, and I have a question that I want to ask under leveraging with technology. Yeah, she mentioned some technology that we can leverage on, and one of it is this email marketing. And I've been trying to get more about that email marketing. It's one of the areas that I'm looking up to. I don't know if you can shed more light on how can we access it without any, difficulty or challenges. That's the only area that I've not been able to penetrate it. I've been able to, I have access to Canva, I have access to so many other, but that email marketing has been an issue. And because you mentioned it, Ma, I would love if you can just give us a little way on how to really maximize it as a non-profit organization. Thank you so much, Ma.
Okay, thank you so much for that question. So email marketing is basically leveraging emails to communicate with your audiences. And I mentioned a tool called Substack. As a nonprofit with a lean budget, you can leverage Substack for your organization. You can share your blog posts and also general emails. Sorry, I'm trying to get Substack short so I can share my screen and show you what it looks like. Okay. Please let me know if you can see my screen. And can you see my screen, or can everyone see my screen?
So it's sharing. I'm waiting for it to come up. It's up now.
Okay, great. So this is Substack, right? You can see at the top posts, these are like blog posts or newsletters that we share. And you can see it shows us the analytics. So we're able to track, right? Our last post was made February 14. We had 322 views. And this is a very fairly new account for a nonprofit. This is not Hexamedias, by the way. And then we have podcasts, we have chat. It's like Medium, but better than Medium. And we have the overview here. You're able to track how many subscribers, the open rates, the views, and all of that. It's a newsletter platform that can also be used for email marketing. So you just upload all of your subscribers here, and people can either subscribe or you just upload them based off on the emails you've gotten, and then you're able to communicate with them, right? So Substack is like the barest minimum, very easy, you can use. It's not an email marketing tool per se. There are more specific email marketing tools like MailChimp, MailerLite, Zoho, so many. Try Zoho. Zoho might be complicated, but they have huge number of discounts that you can use. But the joy of email marketing is you have data, you have um, information that you can hold. When you're on social media, you don't have anything. You are just dependent on whoever sees your posts to connect with you and want to get interested. And because of the way social media algorithms are unpredictable nowadays, you don't know who is, getting to see your content. So when you have email marketing platforms, you are able to have emails that with real people you are connecting with, and you can continue to communicate with them frequently. There are some people that don't want you to have their WhatsApp numbers. There are some donors like that. They prefer very professional, and you have to keep it that way. So email marketing is the only way you can do that. With email marketing, you can schedule emails ahead of time for some tools for free. You can send it across board, in bulk. That's the joy of email marketing. Instead of having to go to your Gmail and send one by one, email marketing, you just have all of it in one place. You can also segment. So you have your donors, you have your corporations, you have your volunteers. You can segment these different audiences if you have an email marketing tool, right? But on social media, you can't necessarily segment. So that's the joy of email marketing. And it's very beneficial for fundraising, very, very much beneficial, but it also depends on your target audience. So don't be so keen on using email marketing if you do not know the audience you want to specifically work with or the goal of that platform, right? Like I said, there has to be a goal for every platform that you're on, so you don't spread yourself too thin. So I don't know if this helps you better understand email marketing. It's a whole different masterclass of its own, but I hope this answer helped.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thanks.
I'm glad.
All right. Thank you so much, Ella. I don't know. Are there any more questions? If not, we'll call it a night. Do we have any more questions? Okay. So I want to believe that we all understand. Okay, let me just ask this here. Ella, I believe you wouldn't mind sharing your slides with us, would you?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. I mean, so that we can also have reference to some of the tools that you mentioned for those who are not familiar with it. So thank you so much for your time. We sincerely appreciate you sharing wealth of experience. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I'd like to say that I already shared the attendance in the chat session, and some of us have already filled it. If you're yet to fill it, please do so. A post-session survey will also be shared. Please look out for it and then fill the survey. And then look forward to the recordings and the slide just to help with the assignment. Thank you so much, everyone. I think our next session will be next week. So we have a couple of days to rest, to relax, review the recordings, review the slides that we have shared so far, and just prepare for the coming week. Have a very amazing evening. Have a great week ahead. Have a lovely night's rest. Good night, everyone.